So bear with me a second. I'm actually doing this on a couple of different videos. So here we go. So again, good afternoon. Wanted to share with you some tips on really how to get hired. I'd love to tell you everything in one sitting, but it's just there's just not enough time. So what we're going to do is actually start a call coming up this Sunday, and each Sunday evening you can join me to listen to ideas, tips, tricks of really how to get a job. I want to talk about. I have a goal of getting more people hired this year, and to do that, we need to reach more people. So that's why I'm going to come to you live. Everybody really wants to find a dream job, ace an interview, know what to say during the interview. Many people that I've met with, and I've visited with thousands of people that I've sat down with face to face and helped them with their interview skills. Um, we need to get you hired quicker, better, faster. And to do that, a lot of that is about asking great questions. So we'll cover questions. We'll cover interview tips and tricks. We'll cover really where are you searching for a job? What are you doing to get hired? How are you taught? Many people are taught just picking up the paper and 20 years ago, and they found a job that way. And times have changed. Now it's online networking. Um, Let me give you some numbers to share with you, though. Online, over 250 people are generally applying for any given job ad. How do you get to the top of the stack? If you're listening to the radio lately, you're hearing ads for ZipRecruiter, you're hearing ads for companies to have businesses use their services to actually sort out candidates. And one of the things they tell businesses is look how many resumes that you can get, thousands of resumes by joining our job site. Well, you as an applicant, how are you getting to the top of the stack? We're going to cover that. We're going to cover that in our weekly Sunday calls and other questions that you may have. Um, it's good to have a guide when you go through this process. Yesterday I saw in the news that Mount Everest was 30 degrees at base camp. Half the country is way below that as far as their temperatures are concerned. But how do you climb Mount Everest? I was thinking about this. You can go it alone. Your chances of getting up to the top aren't very great. You can buy a map, may improve your chances a little bit, but you really need a guide. You need a guide that's been there, that's done that, that's taken those people to the top for any kind of opportunity to get to the summit. And that's what I'm here for. I would love to help you find a job, love to help you get hired this year. Uh, I've talked to hundreds of people already this year that last year they said to me, hey, next year I need to find a new job. We're going to get started right at the first. So I called those people back and talked to them and said, how's your job search going? Here we are almost the end of January, and how is that job search? And what I've heard so far is maybe there hasn't been many interviews, maybe there hasn't been any offers, and you can't get an offer generally unless you go on that interview. So how do you land the interview? Why are people not calling me back? What happened to those recruiters that were calling me 6 months ago? And now that I'm ready, now that I'm wanting to make that jump and get that new job, where are they today? Well, I can help you with that. I can answer those questions, and we do that on my call. So our call is designed really for 90-minute live call, and you can ask questions on our secret Facebook group page. Bear with me. I'm still working on how all that works, but I wanted to get outside of my comfort zone to help you, to help get you hired this year. So we're going to go weekly, live, 90-minute calls. And with those calls, we're going to be tips, ideas, how to hunt for that job, secrets of the interview. You'll be able to ask questions, share with me your results and what has been happening for you. For coming on the call, we're also going to do networking tips. Where do you network? How do you find a job? Are you looking on the paper? Are you looking online? Are you talking to your friends, your family, your coworkers of past positions? We're going to cover all this. We're going to give you the best ones that work, so that you're not wasting your time filling out applications and nobody's calling you back. Let's look at those. Let's look at the best ways that these things work. So anyhow, I've got lots of ideas. My private clients are included on the call. We've already talked to a few of those, and y'all are welcome to come on this call with me each Sunday night and share your experiences. One big part of looking for a job is really the emotional trauma that you're going through. It ranks right up there with you've got divorce, death, and finding moving and finding a job, and those are your top four big events, family events that cause just havoc in your life. So, that's one of the reasons that I'm there. Again, thousands of interviews that I've given face to face and help people through their job searches to produce results. And what I'm going to do is I want to talk to you about how is the job search going? How do we keep our spirits up? How do we keep excited and ready for those opportunities when they come along? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to go into interviews. We'll talk about the emotion of landing a job. Companies want to hire people that are excited and motivated, and how do you show them that? You may be fired up inside, but how do you show them? I just did some positions for CFO and accounting, and generally accounting and engineering are usually not the most excited person. So how do employers that want to hire someone that's excited, how do you get that across? And so that's what I do. Thanks for joining me here. And that's what I do is help people get hired. Emotion is a big part of it. Having a plan, getting results. These are all things that we cover in our weekly Sunday call, our upcoming Sunday call. And again, my goal here is to reach more people, to get more people hired this year, stepping out of my comfort zone to be able to do that. And I really want to be the guide. I can help you by showing you what works, what doesn't work. We talked a little bit about statistics. Let me give you another one. Again, I told you about 250 people apply for every job that's out there on ZipRecruiter, on any of the websites, Monster. And so how do you get to the top? How do you get hired? Well, the funny thing is, with all those ads that are out there, that's not the number one way that employees are actually finding jobs. If you look at it from a business perspective, businesses have their most hires from internal, from within. They're moving people up through a company, and those are the companies you want to work for. So how do we find those jobs? I can help. And so number one is companies are finding people internally. Companies are finding people. Number two is actually through recruiters, and it's almost twice as much as it is with somebody that's just on uh, looking at job ads. So companies find them those ways: internal, recruiters, and then by far an amount over simply people that are advertising for a job and you've applied to that job. So even though it gets a lot more resumes, a lot more hits, those people aren't necessarily getting hired. We've got the statistics. I can show them to you. I'll share more of those numbers like that with you on our Sunday evening calls. If you're not currently looking for a job, that's fine. But I have some great tips for you. Number one is always be networking. Watch that movie, Always Be Closing of the Night. Always be networking, and you want to be building your network of people so that one day when you wake up and that company is no longer in existence, you have a job. It's odd. I was looking at some numbers just this last weekend, and over half the companies in the S&P 500 will be gone or will be new in the next 15 years. Is your company on that list? Is your company going to be gone? Are you going to be working for a different employer? Stats say that most people today used to be 3 to 5 jobs. Now it's up to 15 jobs in a lifetime. 15 jobs. Now, my private clients that work with me, if they are in a job and several years from now they pick another job, fine. We have a guarantee. We actually at that time will help them in the future. We do not charge them again to go help them in the future. We want to help get people hired, and that's what I'm here for. Hi, Valerie. Good to see you. So again, while we're here, I want to invite everybody to join us on our Sunday night calls. These calls are designed to help people to get hired, to help you emotionally, to help you get through what works and what doesn't work, how to pass the interviews, how to find the job in the first place, where to spend your time most productively. Wouldn't you rather be sitting around with your family, uh, maybe enjoying the Super Bowl, than looking for a job? So let me help. Let me help. So we're going to start these calls because of Super Bowl. We are actually not going to start this. We're going to start them next week. But we will have these calls weekly to help you get hired and use your time more productively. And that's what I'm here for. That's my goal, is to help more people get hired this year. It's on my wall. It's on my bulletin board. Um, I want to help get you hired. I want to hear about your problems on the calls. Why am I not getting the interview? Why am I not acing the interview once I get it? How come they just say, great, we'll call you back, and they never do? What happens to those recruiters and those headhunters that I'm working with? Why are they not helping? Why are they not following up? Why are they not giving me a call? Again, I want to be your guide when we're climbing Mount Everest to help you get to the top. So, those 90-minute calls will start. I'll put more information on our Top Talent Search Advisors website, our Facebook page. We use that mostly for all our communication is the Facebook business page, Top Talent Search Advisor. So if you're not subscribed to that, or you know somebody that is looking for a position, tell them to join us. I'd love to have them there. I post jobs. And, I want to get everybody hired. But here's the catch. I want a job that you want. I don't want a job that's just sticking a round hole in a square peg. I mean, the goal is that we all wake up in the morning, we're going to work, we're having a great place to go to, and we actually enjoy getting out of bed and going to that job. If you're in one right now that you wake up in the morning and you dread going to work, you know as well as I do, it's time to start looking. It's time to start preparing the resumes, making our contacts through our network, deciding what we're going to say, and designing the job that we want for the future. We cover this in our calls. We cover this on our site. Again, I just wanted to do a live here and say hello to a few folks. Also be posting this on our YouTube channel. So join us and let me know what you think, and I hope to see you on our calls. Again, thank you so much for coming today. See you soon on the calls.